when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
This is the city, Los Angeles, California. That's where we are for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
Cade York to kick off.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the fourth most in a single season. And the Saints are on the board first on the road here in L.A. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Get it! Cowboy 80!
Now Moore. And he's taken down here by the Saints. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early. And I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator.
Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
On the return, the Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's Shuck out of the shotgun. Under pressure, and down he goes. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, giving 5 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Opting to run again here with White. And he's going to bolt his way forward to the 48. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. More now. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Lou Henley in punt formation.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here's Shuck. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because I saw some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
1st down.
Where's the contain there? And yes, that's a question, because that was just a simple drop-off. But he hits the Jets, and all of a sudden, the seas part in front of him. A huge result there to flip the field, and what was a fairly innocuous play call.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Off to the races. Moving inside the 20. Touchdown, Allen! A great effort there. With now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to always build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
To throw is Shuck. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. And bulldozing his way through. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
It's Edwards again. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it second down. This defense for the Rams, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
That's out to the flat for Gibson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards the pickup there.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now Shuck. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the 1st quarter. Here's another good example.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Shuck now to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4. And this one is right through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. It really doesn't get much easier than the last drive. 1 play, and they took it all the way to the house on the touchdown. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow, knocked him for a loss.
Throwing, Shuck. That's into the hands of Oliver. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And it's 3rd down.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a third down coming up. We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, here's Edwards.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Operating from the gun. Moore. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal down. Looking to throw. Moore. Now he'll tuck this and run. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Back to throw. Moore. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are able to widen their advantage. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 8.
Saints 13.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never known an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And his throw is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 99 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, New Orleans. Antonio Gibson, 61 yards. And the Saints have come back to make it a 2-point game. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It's caught, Puka Nacua. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Running out of the gun with White. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it, when you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
Let's go now.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Now he's going to step up and run. And that one too high and incomplete. Well, the Rams had 7-4 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now back to the ground game with White. And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints' 27. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
More now. Off play action. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
That's good.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
They'll go up the middle with White. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Boy, 196 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now Moore from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught. And he's going to have the Rams first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The 11-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Ready, set. Tag. 70 steps.
2nd and 11.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Ferguson. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
19, target.
Looking to throw. Moore. He'll try and do this himself. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Rams have taken the lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive if they watch the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they haven't had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
A swing pass here to Edwards.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll throw. Here's Shuck. He's got his target. That's complete.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
To throw now, Shuck. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw again.
Gets this complete to Shaheed.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the gun, Shuck.
Checks this down to Edwards out of the backfield. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
He was brought down at the 26. A gain of 3 on the play.
And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Warriors, 17. Mustang, 19. Check go.
Working out of the gun here, Shuck.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Edwards. Well, he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
Number 2.
19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll look to throw here. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints.
Antonio Gibson.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Saints have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
Let's go now.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Now 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is caught by Tate. There he goes left side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Rams come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
They're going to look to throw.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
19-yard line.
Trap 60, trap 60.
Now Moore. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown. Rashee Rice. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
And everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 more on that one and another 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's Brown. And he's got this down to the 35.
To number 18. A gain of 12. And the Saints 1st down.
19, Buffalo 18, 7
To the air again is Shuck. And that's going to be incomplete.
They geared up and took a deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Here we go, sack. 19, 19,
Up the middle, here's Edwards. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion and a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's Shuck. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Going to be taken in here by McClure. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great...
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
3 more yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Second and 10.
What an advantage having an elite guy to build a defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now a second and 10.
18 Cardinals, 18 Cardinals.
They stay on the ground with Bryant. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Open man, that's Puka. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10. More now. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
Cade York on now for the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. York able to send this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
To throw is Shuck. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he wisely will throw that one away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first.
A gain of 7.
Shuck now to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
To the air again is Shuck. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Rams are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the fourth quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Set. Ready.
They run straight ahead here with White. Through the middle of the field.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Rams add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
They'll indeed go. Here's Shuck.
A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position.
Ready.
On 1st and 10 with Charbonnet. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
That's good.
A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Here's Charbonnet once again.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
The 14-yard line.
Okay, ready.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
And 1.
Ready. 60 Bison. 60 Bison.
On the give, here's Charbonnet.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Cougar 19.
And they'll run again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Alert! Alert! Tag! Hawk 70! Hawk 70! Go!
Hunter. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Cade York on now for the field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. York able to sing this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset. So you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And certainly starting to appear that they might finally be about to suffer that first loss of the season. What a heck of a run through 3 months, though, but they trail big here. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. 74 yards. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Again on the ground with Hunter. It's a Rams first down to pick up a 10.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Here we go, set. Cougar 19.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Set. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready?
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into?